Good morning, students. Welcome to Vidya Setu. We were studying chapter Heredity and Evolution. Today we are going to study the monohybrid inheritance and dihybrid inheritance. So let's start our class. Now, student, Mendel chose pea plant for his experiment. Why did he choose a pea plant for experiment? Why he did not choose an animal for his experiment? So there are several reasons why he chose pea plant for his experiment. These are as follow. The pea plants had a number of clear-cut differences, like some plants were tall, whereas others were dwarf. So there were a number of characters which can easily differentiate between two plants. Okay, there were clear-cut differences, like some plants were tall, height of plant, some plants were tall, whereas others were short, dwarf. Shape of seeds. Some plants were having round yellow seeds, some plants were having wrinkled green seeds. Okay, so shape of seed, round seeds and wrinkled seeds. Color of flower, some plants were having purple colored flower, whereas others were having white colored flowers. So Mendel could get more idea about the inheritance of different characters. So he chose pea plant, and pea plants were self-pollinating, so it was very easy for them to produce their next generation. And one more reason was there, many generation of pea plant could be produced in a short time. If Mendel has experimented on an animal, the lifespan of animal is very large, so it would take a lot of time for him to study that process. So he chose a plant. Okay, and the study of plant is quite simpler as compared to the study of animals. Now, what is inheritance? Inheritance is the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation. So Mendel has taken one character in the monohybrid cross, or we can say the law of segregation. It is also known as the law of segregation. So, for his first law of inheritance, Mendel just simply has taken only one character and he studied how it is transmitted to the next generation. So, for the study of monohybrid inheritance, Mendel chose the height of the plant. So he has taken the height of a plant as the character and he studied that character. So he has taken one tall plant whose genes were capital T and one dwarf plant and made them to pollinate and reproduce. So when gametes are formed, the genes were get separated, segregated, and one gene would go to each gamete. Okay, because gametes have half of the number of chromosomes, so they will receive only single pair of single gene. Okay, so when cross is between this, so all the plants in first generation were tall plants because they have a dominant gene which is capital T. ठीक है, यहाँ पे सब में कैपिटल T है, डोमिनेंट जीन है, तो सभी प्लांट्स फर्स्ट जनरेशन में were tall and all were hybrid tall. They were not pure tall. Pure tall का जीनोटाइप है both T's are capital and dwarf का जीनोटाइप है both T's are small, whereas one T capital and one T small is the hybrid tall. Okay, and when these individuals of F1 generation, when they are made to cross with each other, so what he did he find that he find that out of four plants in F2 generation, three were tall plants, whereas other the single one was dwarf. Okay, so this is pure tall, this is hybrid tall, and this is dwarf. So when we see the genotype of these organisms, these plants, so the genotype ratio would be 1 is to 2 is to 1. यहाँ पे pure tall सिर्फ एक है, दो है hybrid tall. ठीक है, and 1 is dwarf. So ratio would be 1:2:1. बट हमें यहाँ एक्सटर्नली देखने से लग रहा है कि ये सभी क्या है, टॉल. सो फिनोटाइप रेशियो, फिनोटाइप इज द एक्सटर्नल अपीयरेंस ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनिज्म. सो फिनोटाइप रेशियो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, 3:1, बिकॉज ऑल दीज 3 आर टॉल एंड दिस वन इज शॉर्ट. ठीक है, यहाँ पे 3 टॉल हो जाएंगे, एक्सटर्नली हमें देख के लग रहा है, एंड 1 इज ड्वार्फ. बट जब हम इनकी जीन्स की स्टडी करेंगे, then we would be able to know that only 1 is pure tall, 2 are hybrid tall, and 1 is dwarf. So this is the monohybrid inheritance. सिंगल कैरेक्टर को लेके हमने स्टडी किया है कि वो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में कैसे पास ऑन होता है. So Mendel has carried out this study. So this is known as monohybrid inheritance. Now, after carrying out the study of the single trait, Mendel gave his first law of inheritance. And according to Mendel's first law of inheritance, the characters of an organism are determined by the internal factor. Mendel used the term factor because the term gene was not discovered at that time when he carried the experiment. So gene उस टाइम पे वर्ड डिस्कवर नहीं हुआ था, तो मेंडल ने क्या वर्ड यूज किया था, फैक्टर. सो मेंडल सेड कि किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म के जो कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं वो उसके इंटरनल फैक्टर्स के द्वारा कंट्रोल किए जाते हैं, एंड दीज फैक्टर्स दे अकर इन पेयर. इट मींस द जीन्स दे अकर इन पेयर, एंड व्हेन देयर इज गैमीट फॉर्मेशन, ईच सिंगल गैमीट विल रिसीव ओनली वन पेयर ऑफ सच फैक्टर. तो आपने यहाँ देखा जब गैमीट फॉर्म हुई थी तो यहाँ पे कैरेक्टर्स जो हैं वो गैमीट्स में सिंगल सिंगल गए थे. स्टूडेंट्स, now we will study the dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross means when we take two characters and study them. So दो characters को हम लेके study कर रहे हैं, और मेंडल ने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था, दो कैरेक्टर्स को लेके स्टडी की थी, और उसके बेस पे उसने अपना लॉ बनाया, दैट इज द लॉ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट असॉर्टमेंट. सो व्हाट टू फैक्टर्स टुगेदर ही कंसीडर्ड वर the shape of the seed, which is round and wrinkled, and the color of the seed, yellow and green. तो उसने दो characters लिए थे, color of the seed and shape of the seed. So round yellow is dominant over wrinkled green. So when he carried out the parental cross, यहाँ देखिए यहाँ पे गैमीट्स की फॉर्मेशन हुई, तो गैमीट्स की फॉर्मेशन में सिंगल सिंगल जाएंगे, यहाँ पे गैमीट बन जाएंगी हमारी ये, एंड जब इन गैमेट्स के बीच में क्रॉस होगा तो हमारे पास बनेंगे राउंड येलो सीड्स. सभी F1 जनरेशन में राउंड येलो सीड्स आर formed. When the individuals which were formed in F1 generation, when they are made to cross with each other, so हमें यहाँ पे न्यू कॉम्बिनेशंस देखने को मिलते हैं. ठीक है, यहाँ पे एंड रेशियो आ जाता है हमारा 9:3:3:1. We have Mendel had started with round yellow seeds and wrinkled green seed, but he found that new combinations are also arising, like round green and wrinkled green. Okay, students. So this was all about today's class. I hope whatever content is taught to you is understood by you. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class.